Okay, thank you. I'm late. 8 minutes. Any more questions?
Hello, about boredom. How to understand boredom and tell us more about it.
Burden?
Boredom.
Is it real?
Yes, it is real.
Is you?
No.
So it's a burden.
Yeah.
See is burden. Here is burden. Each moment is burden. Because it has to arise and experience an object, whether it like or not.
Yeah.
Boredom is burden too.
And is it kusala or akusala burden?
Akusala.
Akusala, what kind of, is the feeling pleasant or unpleasant?
Unpleasant.
So if it's unpleasant feeling, what kind of dhamma is it?
It is a Chetasika.
What kind of Chetasika?
I think it's something Uddhacha Kukutha. I'm not sure.
Boredom is not worry or
Restlessness.
the kind of dosa,
Dosa. Yeah.
not like.
But when it is there, it looks like overpowering.
Bigger burden.
Bigger, but yeah.
Try not to have it, dislike it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's disliking,
Begin to understand what's meant by burden.
burden.
Whatever, seeing is a burden to see, hearing a burden to hear.
Yeah.
Each moment. Better not to have any reality around seeing for you.
Yeah.
Remind about boredom because unpleasant feeling is dosa, not pleasant, but actually any reality is dukkha. But why do we just fixate on boredom? Because of the unpleasant feeling, not liking it, just clinging to pleasant feeling all day, not liking the unpleasant feeling.
Yeah.
So the boredom seems to overwhelm because of the thinking again and again and again with dosa, conditioned by clinging and ignorance.
And what about it's already there? What can we do? But it's gone. And then recipe and condition. As long as there are conditions, there must be scientific conditions here. Is there any attachment to not having burden
Yes, absolutely.
or burden?
How long does the boredom last when it arises? Because of thinking about the story of the boredom again and again. Like, for example, listening to the Dhamma, but maybe just thinking about the boredom and unpleasant feelings. So no listening, no understanding, just dwelling on the story of me and my boredom and unpleasantness.
So it is also temporary and it's also continuous.
So I think you're talking about the new fields, the latent
runs without depending on the latent tendency of those the latent tendency of attention is drawn. We keep that way from moment to moment and transitions to after that, exactly the consequence for awareness and then the standard and everything for a moment. So the tendency of there that is rising with the appreciation and yeah. It is center of circulation rather than
What is
what about the things kind of exploring of this kind of knowing, what is the knowing about coming to some and coming to
Yes, it's often the same thing from the bottom. It's just not the same what the story. So there can be something it's not it's not doesn't see, it doesn't know. It's just as it is, whether it's a little understanding of panyati, a little understanding of the concept of the reality, or whether it is satipatthana, the panya that understands the object well. Still, its function is to understand. It's a different function. So in just the same way, the child picks up the coin, knows it's a coin, but it doesn't remember anything about it, and it doesn't understand its value at all. The villager picks it up and it knows more about that coin, but only the money changer really understands its value, knows its worth, knows it's the one that should be collected. That's all. Just a simile. I remember one friend asked Jan about it, and she said she's not interested in the simile at all. So, but anyway, it's just pointing to the different functions of sanya, chitta, and panya. That's all.
Thank you.
Someone is interested in simile, not the truth. Remember the children, something like that.
Some people have great skill in remembering a lot of details, a lot of stories about a lot of people, and a lot of similes, and more interest in knowing the stories and all the similes given than actually understanding the truth now. Of course, there can be both, but it's the truth that is pointed to that is important. I remember once a friend asking Ajahn about the Jatakas and the mentioning different stories, and she said, I just read it to get the main point that is being stressed, that's all. What is the point of this story? Not to remember all the details about the people involved, but just to understand the point being emphasized.
So those stories, there's a reality behind every Shataka is mean that without the reality, there's
no story, no people at all, no.
It's the day when, the lady and the nun were discussing, and she mentioned about the level of vijnana and the level of sanya. I think she was thinking about that, but that it's a completely wrong understanding about the function of the three.
Right. So if there's no understanding about what sanya is now, what citta is, and how vijnana is citta and what panya is, then one reads it and thinks that it's referring to different levels of panya or something like this, and not understanding that even though one's studied Abhidharma in detail, vijnana is just the citta now, the seeing now, the hearing now. So that's why it's useless without any understanding of the Dhammas.
Another point to keep in mind on this question is that whenever there's citta, which is vijnana, there's also sanya. And there can't be sanya without citta. So both are always present together.
In some cases, the reality is more, tức là nó xuất hiện là gì? Ý là nó strong hơn đó. Tại vì đôi khi thì nói đến tham thì những thành phần dominant because I agree with that point, but say at the moment of the kusala, many realities arise at the same time, right? But some kind of the Chitasika being dominant, we mentioned about that. Say in this same context, right? Sanya or the Chitta, or maybe that's more dominant in such, no? Okay.
In the simile, it's just pointing out the different functions of sanya, chitta, vijnana, and panya. That's all. It's not talking about which is dominant at any moment. And yes, there cannot be the sanya without the vijnana and vice versa.
And there
So
can't be
one
panya
just
without
misunderstands
chitta
it
and
completely.
sanya.
When we talk about sanya, is this have something to do with the people who had Alzheimer? It does mean that sanya is not working properly.
Sanya always performs its function. So at every moment of life, sanya is marking. So when there is Alzheimer's or any kind of dementia, sanya is still marking an object. There is still thinking whenever there is not seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and sanya is marking the object. It may not be the object we like, but it is still marking. It is still remembering at each moment. Like when we lose our keys and we say, oh, I'm so forgetful, I forgot where I put my keys. But actually, sanya is marking, it's just marking different objects. Or when we get the names mixed up, sanya is still marking, but not marking the one we would like it to mark. And sometimes people say, oh, it's akusala sanya when I get the name mixed up or I forget where my keys. But akusala sanya is moments when the chitta is akusala, moments of ignorance, attachment, aversion. No matter one can find the keys or not find the keys. And at moments of kusala, it's sanya is kusala, like when the nun or the lady burnt the curry and became an arahat. Kusala sanya. So it's very different way of understanding what we conventionally call forgetfulness. Actually, sanya is still marking and remembering, doing its job. I'm so forgetful, no understanding of sanya and chitta, no panya.
Why dosa not classify in the second noble truth? Dosa, yeah. Why not classify in the second noble truth?
What is
It's the first one, yeah.
what is the cause of life in samsara? What is the cause of dukkha? What is the cause of the arising and falling away of realities?
The cause is
Life after life.
I think attachment.
Attachment and ignorance. Even for the anagami, when dosa has been completely eradicated, still attachment and ignorance. While there's attachment and ignorance, life goes on. And dosa is conditioned by lobha, like we were saying, when there's attachment, clinging to the dear one, conditions dosa. When it's not the pleasant one anymore, boredom, anger, all conditioned by ignorance and clinging.
During the afternoon discussion, it said that understand for the sake of understanding. So that is in line with there is no self who understands it, isn't it? I just wanted to get that clarified.
And the point of understanding is for the realization of the truth and the eradication of defilements. It's not for me, know me, and it's not for the others. It's not for society. It's just for the benefit of developing the path, developing understanding, leading to the end of all burdens.
there's a sutta which talks about understanding for oneself, understanding for society, or understanding just for the value of understanding.
The other question, our other Dhamma friends, one of the Dhamma friends, she was asking about Nikama, right? Renunciation. So, developing on daily experience, understanding how it helps to progress in eightfold path naturally, not with any doing something. How understanding helps to progress in eightfold path naturally. Dhamma friends, she was asking about Nikama. Similarly, I just wanted to know how the eightfold path, like right understanding and Nikama, the other part of the eightfold path can be naturally developed when there is an understanding in, we appreciate the understanding on daily life experiences.
So nekama is a parami. Nekama is a parami.
Yeah.
So understanding has to develop with the support of all the paramis. The renunciation of wrong view and ignorance, in particular, the idea of self. So understanding develops with the other paramis, and it conditions more understanding. The wise considering now leads to more understanding. Nothing to be done, no matter whether you're sitting in your room or going out for an Indian dinner or here. Moments of understanding condition more understanding with the support of other dharmas. So when there's understanding, it understands that the true nekama, the true seclusion, is not connected with the way you dress or the place you live or the country or the age or the physical appearance, but it is the understanding that actually one lives alone now. So this is the true meaning of viveka, seclusion, living alone with understanding. And that's why the Buddha said to Migajala that one can live forever in the forest, but if when lobha arises, there's no nekama, no seclusion. Or one can be in the middle of the market in Bangalore, but if there's understanding at that moment, there is nekama, there is seclusion. That's why anytime, any place, nothing to be done. Do you have anything to add?
So it's right understanding itself that is the renunciation. At every moment that there's a right understanding that conditioned by listening to the word of the Buddha, it will little by little understand more and more the reality of what it is right now. But it has to start it by the conventional understanding of the conventional truth. No other way. No going to faraway place by oneself, staying alone in the hut or in the cave, but it's just the right understanding, which cannot be arised by itself. It has to be conditioned. And the condition is to listen to the word of the Buddha, the enlightened one.
When I saw pictures on Facebook of Kuntu sitting on a cruise boat in some luxurious destination, this is daily life, and it shows actually that there can be development of understanding anywhere, anytime. Some people think that there should be renunciation of holidays or pleasant experiences, or that one should live a life of hardship, or one should give up one's job and one's work, or one should fast or become a monk. Yes, but this is not the natural development of understanding. So one can just live naturally, easily, following one's interests and accumulations, developing understanding.
Because Dhamma is life. It's a daily life normal. No I to try to do something, to make something happen.
Like when we go swimming at 6 o'clock in the morning and our friends join, it's just, we enjoy it. It's daily life. There's still just different dharmas, seeing, hearing. One doesn't have to close off and move away from one's family and friends or live an unnatural way of life. No, one performs one's work, family duties, lives easily, relaxed, letting go of the burden of wrong view little by little.
A question I had actually was the developing the understanding and daily life experiences, how it helps to develop the right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, or right effort, those eightfold path I mean, was trying to ask you. Sarah. Okay. Yeah. So when daily life experience, when we start appreciating Dhamma, how it helps progressing in eightfold path, be it right speech, right livelihood, right mindfulness, how this helps that also to develop simultaneously.
The understanding develops. It's just the understanding that can work its way, can condition a little more appreciation of what the cause of the problems are. Like if one gets angry and says it's because my wife, my husband, my colleague did this, that, and the other, that is no understanding. So understanding just begins to work its way, like we were discussing today. What is metta? What is attachment? Just begins to consider a little more about what life is at this moment. Yes, I was just glad to see Hung here now. She's just had an upgrade while I was talking to you. And Hung, is there any topic you would like to bring up or discuss?
I have some questions.
Yes, please.
Welcome.
We have Achaan.
Haven't seen Hung for a long time, so we give her a little priority
See you
treat.
again, Achaan. You still healthy and happy, and all of you. Thank you. Okay. Yes. I easily to forget, so I I have some question. My question and my friend's question also. So my first question, I would like Achaan help me to elaborate. When sati with panya arise to directly experience the reality, can it arise at the sense door process? As I understand, at the moment of Vuttapana, there is already Yoniso Manasikara and or Ayoniso Manasikaras followed by Kusala or Kusala Javana. So if the Javana is not dosa or loba, can it be sati with panya? Thank you.
First of all, on the point about the Votapana chitta, so this is the chitta that arises in the sense door process before the kusala or akusala chittas. Can yoniso or ayoniso manasikara arise when it's not kusala or akusala?
I think it's conditioned by accumulation of kusala or akusala before. Because the Votapana Chitta, which is just the same as the Manodwara Vajana Chitta in the mind door, it's a Kiriya Chitta, it's an operative. So it's not Kusala or Akusala. The Yoniso Manasikara is the Kusala Manasikara. The Ayoniso is the Akusala Manasikara. So the Votapana Chitta is just like a doorway after the Vipaka Chittas have fallen away, the sense consciousness, the seeing, the Sampatichana, Santirana Chittas, these are all Vipakas. And it needs a bridge, a bridging gap between them and the Kusala and Akusala. The bridging Chitta is the Votapana Chitta. So it's just a Kiriya inoperative Chitta. It's not Yoniso or Ayoniso Manasikara. The Yoniso Ayoniso Manasikara arises with the Kusala or Akusala Chittas that follows. It's a common idea that the Votapana determines the Kusala or Akusala, but actually the Kusala or Akusala are conditioned by previous habits, accumulations of Kusala and Akusala, not by the Votapana Chitta.
Yes, I understand that it's a Kriya Chitta and there is no Kusala or Kusala at that moment, but it is conditioned by the previous accumulation of Kusala or Kusala. Is that like accumulation, a habit? It's a Kriya, but my point is at the moment after Kriya Chitta, that Votapana, can Sati with Panya arise at that Javana? At the ascend or
the Sati arises with all Kusala Chittas. So after the Votapana, not at the Votapana, but afterwards, okay, the Kusala Chittas, whenever any Kusala Chittas arise, no matter in sense door or mind or process, Sati must be there. So Kusala Chittas can arise in the sense door process. So that means Sati arises with them. Panya can arise. Are we talking about our sense door processes now, or are we talking about the Aryan sense door processes? But in theory, Panya can arise in the sense door processes.
Okay.
For the Buddha, for sure.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing to do with the Votapana. That was the
Okay.
point.
Because that's what I heard from someone saying.
That's a very common
So,
idea that the Votapana determines it.
Yeah, because it determines Kusala or Kusala Javana after.
It's a condition because it's the Chitta before. So by Anantara Pachya, the Votapana Chitta has to fall away before the next Chitta, Kusala or Akusala, can arise. So it's a condition by Anantara, Samanantara, but it's not a condition by way of accumulating the Kusala. That is by other conditions.
So also in the
Pakadupani
mind
Sipaki.
or process,
Yes.
the Sati with Panya can rises at the very first mind or process, which is we call the what we call the Atita Gahana Viti something, which we call the first one right after
The first mind or
Mind or
process
process.
experiences the same
same
object
object.
experience through the sense door.
Yes.
Actually, it's nimitta of the visible object or the
Yes.
sound. So just like Sati and Panya can arise in sense door process, they can arise in any mind or process.
But in the next three processes after the Atita Gahana Viti, what we call the process that gathering details of the object, and then the process which form ideas and shapes and forms, and then the process that define the name of the object, then can sati and
Whenever it's kusala chittas arise, like when thinking about Kun Eve with metta at that moment, sati is there. Eve, her name, this one, sati can arise at that moment. So any kusala at all.
because I think satipatthana, the object of satipatthana is a reality.
Yes. So
Then
not Eve, not an idea at that moment. Now thinking about visible object or sound or the nature of Votapana Chitta, it's a concept of reality. Sati can arise, Panya can arise, but it's not Satipatthana. It's not direct understanding of any reality. So that's why actually in the discussion today, we were talking about how Sati and Panya have to develop and develop in order for it to be of that degree of understanding the object well, being aware well of what appears.
So that means at that processes where the object is a panyati, then there can be sati with panya, but not the satipatthana.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Thank
Because
you.
it's not a reality.
Yeah, yes.
Characteristic of reality. It's not the characteristic of a reality appearing. Yes. And at any moment of kusala, it is yoniso manasikara, but usually in the text, it's usually referring particularly to when understanding arises.
Okay. Yes.
Before you go on,
Yes.
the question you've asked about panya arising in the sense door process
Yes.
occurs often. And so I'm interested to know what is the significance of this, as so many people seem to ask about it.
Because someone says that when we say seeing is seeing, for example, so it's something like the seeing just stopped at the moments of seeing consciousness, seeing the object, and then no more. The process seems like stop at that moment. So I think it's impossible because it's the natural flow of the mental process.
Yes.
So that's why
But why specifically panya occurring in the sense door process? It is now. Why specifically the question of panya occurring in the sense door process?
I think to understand the Dhamma, because at the sense door process, all the chitta experience object as a reality without any ideas or concept. So it can directly understand the Dhamma at that process, at that sense door process. Like to say something?
What is Votapana?
It's the Kriya Chitta.
What is function?
The function is to it's like a decide what is determine. Yes, determine what is kusala.
But can the Kriya Chitta be kusala, akusala,
No.
vipaka?
No.
That's right. It's the reality which does have the hetu arising at all. So how can it be the decider or the make decision for anything to arise? It's just the gateway for kusala and akusala. It's time. Because before that it is vipaka. And now it's time for kusala or akusala to arise. But it cannot just arise after vipaka.
Yeah.
That's the way Anantara Pacaya and Samanantara Pacaya is.
Yes.
So we have to learn the function of Panchatavara Vachana and the function of Manotavara Vachana. the Panchatvara Vajna can experience only 5 objects, not more than that. And the Manotvara Vajna has 2 functions, not just 1 function. Anyway, it has to arise before Savana, moments before Kusala and Akusala. It's like the gateway or the doorway, but not the door like the sense door or the mind door. Just for Kusala and Akusala or Kriya Citta for the Arahata to arise.
Okay, so it's no function of deciding anything.
Not at all.
Okay. It's just a gateway.
It's a wrong.
Translation, deciding, determining. Actually,
Yeah, that's what I
just
I
one
hear very
theory of
often.
Chitta.
Yeah. So it can lead to misunderstanding the
It's
function.
the same for Manasikara? It's also the gateway? Or
No, Manasikara is a Chaitasika, which arises with every
no,
Chitta.
Manodwara
Oh,
Visa?
Manodwara Vajana Chitta. Yes, exactly. Votapana is Manodwara Vajana, but when it arises in the sense door process, it is called Votapana, but exactly the same kind of Chitta, accompanied by the same Chaitasikas. And in the sense door process, it performs a function of Kiriya, of being the gateway stopgap between the Vipaka Chittas and the Kusala or Akusala Chittas, the Javana Chittas. And in the mind door, it is the gateway, the Kiriya Chitta between the Bhavanga Chittas and the Javana Chittas, but exactly the same kind of Chitta.
So at that moment, how can it be the Yoniso or Ayoniso at that moment?
Cannot be, cannot, impossible. The Yoniso or Ayoniso
Javana.
has to be referring to the Kusala or Akusala Chittas that follow it. And it cannot be the decider or the of the Yoniso or Ayoniso. This is common misunderstanding because the condition, like for the Kusala or Akusala now, the main condition is the accumulation, the habit, Pakatu Upanisya Pachya. So if there is a habit of boredom arising often, it conditions more boredom. The anger conditions more anger. Understanding now conditions more understanding, not the Votapana.
That's why there are 3 kinds of Manasikara. Aramana, Patipataka Manasikara, is Manasikara Chitasika. Only Aramana, Patipataka Manasikara is Manasikara Chitasika. The other 2 is the Javana Patipataka, Vithi Patipataka Manasikara,
Yeah.
the Panchatvara Vajna, and Manotvara Vajna is the what? Patipataka Manasikara. It means that it arises before Vithi Chitta when it is Panchatvara Vajna, and when it is Manotvara Vajna, it is Javana Patipataka Manasikara. That's why it has to arise before Javana.
Yes. And
It arises before Javana, but it's not Kusala or Akusala, Yoniso or Ayoniso. It's a Manasikara that arises with that Chitta before the Javana Chitta.
yes, and it can arise in every moment of Chitta. Manasikara.
Manasikara arises, the Chaitasika arises with every Chitta.
Yeah.
And the Panchadwara Vajana Chitta, Manasikara arises with it before the seeing or the hearing, but not Yoniso or Ayoniso.
Right.
I think the question here would be why it is given the name Votapana. Because it's also just the gateway, just like the Manotvara Vajana Chitta, before the Javana in the mind or processes. So why it is given the name Votapana?
What should it be called?
So would you please maybe
Nothing to do
elaborate?
with Panya.
Votapana, no, it's not Panya, but just I think that question we don't think about, because so why is it given that name, Votapana?
Votapana,
Yes.
because it has to be Chavana Patipataka Manasikara. It has to arise before the gateway for Kusala or Kusala
Yes,
Chavana.
but the chitta that arises before the javana in the Maida process also, has the same.
So when it's Maida process, it is Mano Tuara Vajana performing the function of Avajana.
So
Not
here is
Votapana.
yes. So Votapana is
Arising before Chavana.
yes, and it's the function is to. What is the translation for Votapana?
It is Kiriya Chitta, not Kusala, not Akusala,
Yes.
Vipaka,
Yes.
and it's no hetu arising within.
Sure.
So thinking about the moment
Mhm.
that no Kusala or Akusala at all.
Mhm.
So it's just the function
Mhm.
of Kiriya Chitta for those who are not Arahata.
Mhm.
But for Arahata, more Kiriya Chitta because no Kusala, no Akusala anymore.
Mhm.
Different chati. This is without Kusala or Akusala.
The meaning of Votapana is determining, right?
No, with
What is the
Yeah.
meaning?
Yes, it cannot determine.
But what would be the good translation for Votapana? Gateway. Mhm.
So
Okay.
we cannot say that Bodhapana is the wrong name because it means determining, it doesn't mean determining.
But what I think here, because the other one is also the gateway, right? Yes, it's also the gateway, but it has.
That's why it's gateway for Javana.
They are different of the object. Object are different.
So the Bodhapana is the Mano Dwara Vajana, but it's just referring to the one in the sensible process, the gateway for Kusala or Akusala.
Is it okay now? Yes. The Manodwaro, because Manodwaro refers to mind door. So even though, so because Manodwara refers to mind door, so even though it's the same kind of chitta, it cannot be called mind door because now it's in the sense door. That's why it has a different name. Just the gateway.
And also the Kriya Chitta, the Vutapana, is different kind of for Arahata. The Javana also Mahakiriya Chitta. They are not the same, right?
So that's why Ajahn said there are more Kiriya Chittas for the Arahat. So the Votapana is still a Kiriya Chitta. The Panchadwara Vajana is still a Kiriya Chitta. But instead of Kusala Chittas, there are Kiriya Chittas. No more karma.
Right.
No, still just inoperative.
I mean the Vutapana and the Mahakiriya Chitta, also the Kiriya, but they are not the same jati, right?
They are the same. They are all Chittas are Kusala, Akusala, Vipaka, Kiriya. So it is the same jati because they are also inoperative. But the Kiriya Chittas that replace the Kusala Chittas arise with wholesome roots. They're Sobana Chittas, Sobana Chaitasikas with wholesome roots.
Yes.
Whereas the Votapana Chitta is a Kiriya Chitta, inoperative, same jati, but ahetuka.
Ahetuka.
That's why Kusala Manasikara cannot arise with it.
I see. Thank you.
So they are both Javana Patipatika Manasikara, but in the sense process, it's given another name, the gateway, the Votapana.
For Kusala or Akusala or
Yes.
Kiriya Chitta
Okay.
with hetu.
My second question is, when there is no physical impact on the body door, the Kaya Dwara, so how does a pure mind door process perceive a characteristic such as hardness, softness, or heat or cold? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. When there is no physical impact through the kaya dwara, so how can a pure mind or process, it means the sutta manodwara,
Different
Can-
ways.
yeah, can investigate the characteristic of hardness and coldness or heat, or I mean softness and hardness or cold or something like that. It should be
What moment you are talking about?
Normally when we
Just one moment at a time.
okay, one moment at a time. Okay. For example, when there is touching of hardness, it's physical touching of contact,
What arises?
hardness. There's hardness.
The viticita.
The viticita is the kaya vinyana, this
Not
experience.
yet.
The first moment panchadwara, avajanasita, and then the kaya vinyana, and then the sampatichana, and santirana, and votapana, and then jawana, or with the tadamramana, one or two khana of tadaramana. Then the mind or process.
After Bhavanga.
After Bhavanga, then the mind or process. But that is the mind or process followed the sense door. It's easy for me to understand. I mean, to understand.
Can you put your mic next to your mouth?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It experienced the same object. But for the pure mind or process that is independent mind or process, what we call the sutta manodwara, that work independently without it's not follows the sense door process. So my question is how that mind or process can recognize and understand the characteristic of the object of the like hardness.
You mean
Hardness.
Mind or thinking and concept, is that what you're speaking in terms of?
Actually, what I understand is what I know about the from books. The mind, the sutta mandodwara, it means the pure mind or process, can understand panyati, also reality.
By conditions.
Yes.
Yeah. Not, but what kind of reality?
For example, hardness.
How?
That's my question.
Well, I think you're misunderstanding the meaning of when it says that the pure mind or process can have anyati or reality as object, because it would only have reality as object if it's accompanied by panya. That experiences, like the subtle reality or something like that.
I mean, there is sati and panya in that pure mind or process.
Depending on if it's been developed.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Can be.
That sati and panya, that pure mind or process can experience the reality like a hardness, but without followed by the, but it's not.
Hardness to the body.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Okay.
Mind or
What about heat? No, not hardness, but about heat.
How can it be known?
I think, for example, heat. can be known by the Kaya Vijnana. And also like,
Sampatichana,
yes,
Santirana,
yes,
Javana,
yes,
Pawanka,
yes.
and mind process. Otherwise, how can you know whether it's ice or just cold water?
But I'm
After
wondering,
experience that, the mind process just follow the sensor process instantly. The first process of mind after the sensor.
I know I have no question about that. The first mind door that followed the sense door process that experience the same object. But my question is there is what we call the pure mind door process. That is
Only
work,
mind
only mind door work different independently without the impact of sense door.
Can you give some cases of the pure mind door process?
Like for example,
In the
like
Arupa Brahman?
yeah, I like a heat. For example, the heat now, without any touching, right?
impossible.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering.
Even in the Arupa Brahma realm, no experience of any rupas. So that's why if there hasn't been previous development of understanding of rupas, there cannot be any vipassana jnana, because there cannot be the direct knowing of rupas if they haven't been understood already. So
Yeah.
no rupas.
Yeah,
appear.
because there's an opinion saying that even when you know, the Kaya Vijnana, there's no touching of the Kaya of the body to the object. Even that at that time, the pure mindful process still experience the heat of cold.
Okay. And
And
just think about ice. Do you feel cold?
Now it's heat.
Thinking about fire, do you feel hot? Just thinking.
That's why that's because there's opinion, like I wondering. So that's why I ask you, because I feel also it's impossible.
What kind of citta would know the subtle rupas?
The subtle rupa
Mhm.
can only known by the mind door process.
Yes.
Yes.
So is that one of these pure mind door processes
Yes.
then? Yes.
Yes.
But only a lot of developed understanding, not just anyone.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So the pure mind door process that is accompanied by highly developed understanding can know anything.
Yeah.
And even, I guess, superpowers and so forth can know things that, but I have never heard of the hardness and softness being the object of one of these pure mind door processes. So
I don't
think there's anything to it.
wondering a little bit, and that's why I ask, because can only be
What about the
experienced by
What about the
Kaya.
omniscient understanding of the Buddha? Can experience anything that it puts its mind to, the heat that is the body consciousness is experiencing here or there. But this is not daily life, but possible in that way.
Thinking about ice cream. Is it delicious now? Because it's so strong that you don't forget it. Any kind
Memory.
of pleasant feeling, which is strong enough to just seems like it's there, but not as it really is, because it doesn't really touch the sense objects.
Dreaming,
just
yes,
thinking.
like dreaming at night or daydreaming.
Yeah.
And it seems that it's being experienced like a phantom limb experiencing the heat and the hardness, but actually it's just dreaming about it.
That's why Sanya marks and remember everything.
Right.
I just query if Kun Hang referred to kind of the past, present, and the future of the realities that maybe the Panya can know, not at the present, but maybe in the past. There are some teaching. I have a chant mentioned about the past, present, and the future that may Panya or even the Loba it can know. Yeah.
The natural powers, the past experiences or the teachers of another, like the Buddha,
like the supernatural powers or the omniscient wisdom of a Buddha, which can directly experience whatever is attended to. Maybe it's these examples, some psychic understanding, but not the daily life understanding of rupas.
And can we enjoy the taste
Abinya-
of
Abinya
ice cream
Chitta.
without having ice cream?
No.
Just have a small comment. Why are we remembering all these chittas, Votapana, mind or and all those things? They are not to be, as far as I understand, they are not to be remembered. They are not important, only to strengthen the understanding of anatta. Otherwise, if we keep remembering these things, they are of no use, right?
What about now? That's right. When thinking about the Abhinya Chittas or the supernatural past, is there any understanding of hardness now? Or when working out the details of what Votapana Chitta is, how does it help? So it has to be daily life, what can be known now for sure. But I think the reason Hung is asking some of these questions is because she has been considering about dharmas for quite a long time, and she listens to other teachers who have other opinions or reads other books. Like, it's a very common idea that the Votapana Chitta determines a kusala or akusala follows, and it conflicts with what she has heard from us. So that's why she would like to clarify these details. Otherwise, the thinking goes on thinking and thinking about them. And same, she has asked about the pure process, and so some doubts arise. Yes.
Actually, I very much am interested in process of Chitta. I like all this technical stuff, but I have a Santirana question coming because that's investigating, but please go on. Very interesting. Hang on, let's get this all clarified. Excuse me, I'm way too cute.
Oh, yes. Actually, this is my friend's question, not my question. Because they know that I come to see Achaan. So they send the question. Can a person who has never known Buddha teachings but has a desire for liberation, even without making any effort, can attain enlightenment and liberation after maximum of 80 asankhaya kapas?
With or without hearing the Buddha's teachings, can anyone make effort?
Even without making any effort.
Now, can you make an effort?
Make it.
Make an effort.
No one can make it.
What
It's
would-
conditioned, really.
So
That no one can make an
Right,
effort anyway.
what would be the condition for that to develop understanding?
Listen to the Dhamma, considering the Dhamma, yes.
So then what's the question exactly? Can they do it within a certain time? Is that? Sorry, thank you.
Read it
Ted.
again, okay.
Yeah, read it again.
Can a person who has never known the Buddha's teachings but has a desire for liberation, even without making any effort, attain enlightenment and liberation after a maximum of 80 asankhaya kapas?
Well, first of all, is a desire for liberation, whatever that means, is that a condition for developing understanding?
I think in every for a condition of panya, there should be chanda.
When they say desire for liberation, liberation from what?
From dukkha.
Is there any understanding of what dukkha is? If they have never heard the Buddha's teachings,
Right. Maybe it's just like something they feel unpleasant.
they just
feeling,
want to escape from
yeah,
unpleasant feeling,
feeling.
liberation from unpleasant feeling.
Right.
So from the beginning, it's wrong understanding. So wrong understanding can never lead to the development of the path.
I see.
And if it's desire for liberation, is it kusala or akusala chanda? Wishing to be free from unpleasant feeling, is that kusala or akusala chanda? Akusala chanda.
Mm.
So akusala
Yeah.
chanda, wrong understanding. How can it lead to any development of the path at all?
Yeah.
So that's why without listening, considering, reflecting, developing understanding, impossible. One just wants to be free from boredom and anger and painful feeling and whatever one dislikes in life.
Yeah.
And it's all for me,
Mm.
for my liberation.
Okay.
So there has to be understanding of what Dharma is from the very start.
One more question from my friend.
What is it?
Sorry.
Not about anything, just about what we have talked about. What is it? Does she know to become enlightened?
I don't get it.
What is it? What is it?
No, you mean what we are talking about? Or?
No, what is it? What is what and what is and what is it? Enlightened.
What is this?
Even what is it is not known. What is it? So what is meant by enlightenment?
Not known.
As
And if she says it's freedom from dukkha, and you say, what is dukkha? And she says, whatever is unpleasant in life, then
just what?
what?
What is it? What?
So,
Can we get back to your question on the pure mind or processes? Another example, because I didn't follow at some point. So yes, one of the examples you gave was like the dream, for example, right? There would be the pure mind or processes that you're talking about.
The dream?
Yeah, because you mentioned about the pure mind or processes. So, yeah, so.
Right.
So the question is whether hardness, right? Something like that.
Can it experience every reality, only mind or process? Can it experience every reality?
I don't think so.
And what is mind or process?
What is mind or process?
Is there mind or process now?
Sure.
Sure.
What is it?
Well,
enlightened?
no, followed by the sense door process. Thinking about the object.
What is the
experience.
reality of mind or process?
It can be the object that has fallen away at the mind or process, at the sense door process. So it experienced the same object of the sense door process.
What experience the object?
The chitta.
Yes.
Yes.
That is the reality of mind or process.
Mm.
But talking about mind or process, what's understanding about the reality right now? Like Achaan asked earlier, is there any mind or process right now? And you said
Sure,
yes.
sure.
Yes.
It can experience the object as a Dhamma, or can be the idea, the shapes and forms of the object.
No, the
The
chitta
paññatti.
itself. The chitta
The
itself.
chitta,
That is the object of experience.
yeah.
Yeah,
the
but the
chitta
mind or
can
process is the chitta.
Yeah.
Yes.
And why is it pure? What is pure about it?
It is pure because it's not followed by the sense door process.
Like when dreaming at night, does that mean the mind or processes are pure? In what sense are they pure?
I think yes, it is a pure sense door, mind door process.
Just a
Because-
term for
because-
mind or processes that are not following,
Because it's not followed by
No,
the sense door process.
even
and when
though
we are-
they're mostly akusala mind or processes. I'm just not familiar with this
Yeah,
term.
it can
of
be
pure.
kusala or kusala.
From the
I
Tipitaka?
I think it's just the independent, the mind or process. Just it's not pure in terms of like a purity, but it is like a independent mind or process.
Achaan used the term only mind.
That sounds to me like Bhavanga's process-free Pandaram, but
The
Underlying
Pali is Sutta Manudwara. Viti. So it's not pure in terms of
after the sense door.
no. It's
But that would refer to most mind or processes, because after sense door process, there are countless mind or processes. So only the first one follows the sense door process, and all the others just follow mind or processes, endless mind or processes. And when dreaming at night, no sense door processes in between. So usually it's just dreaming or daydreaming as usual about different objects. But understanding can arise, understanding the chitta that's fallen away, or the Vedana, or the subtle rupa. But it's thinking about hardness if the hardness doesn't appear.
So, for example, at the moment of lobha, the chitta that experience that knows the lobha should arise in a independent mind or process.
In a mind or process.
Yes.
Let's just say in a mind or process.
Yes.
So the lobha has arisen, because no matter sense door or a mind or process, when lobha has arisen, then in the mind or process, it can understand the characteristic of lobha that's just fallen away. Yes.
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 Yeah.
Because the lobha arises in the mind door, so the lobha falls away, the characteristic can appear and be known, directly known.
Yeah.
But the hardness hasn't just fallen away, so it's an idea of hardness.
Yeah. Not the
Reality
Yeah,
of hardness.
hardness.
That's the distinction, the
Yeah.
difference.
wow.
But the subtle rupas, as Jonathan said, they appear in the mind door, so they are understood in the mind door process.
Yeah.
It's great to have you with all your questions. So come again. I think we're quite close to needing to finish up.
No
Okay.
more. Yes, my friends.
You'll have some more. Yes, but it'll have to be quick because we need to finish in 2 minutes. Yes.
22. Oh, it's already that late.
Yes, and we need to finish at 5:30. Maybe tomorrow would be, yes. Well, that's.
Thank you,
because
Achaan.
You will be here tomorrow and in Bangkok.
Thank you, John and Sarah. It's so good to see you.
Are you going to come again?
I'm trying. Trying.
These evening discussions are good for you to.
This evening,
Any evening.
any evening, a night like now?
This is what we call night time. It's 5.
Okay.
5 to 6.
Okay, okay,
While we're here, yeah.
okay.
Um,